Alrighty. I didn't know if I would make this series or these kind of videos, or if I ever would. Um, but I guess I considered that, lockdown was a good opportunity to create them. I already film all my lifts, all the exercises that I do. I kind of analyze them for technique reasons, so I figured why not kind of share them, share the process, and every now and again I can talk over them like I'm doing now and kind of share why I'm doing it and what I'm doing it. I definitely, predominantly do Olympic weightlifting. I kind of want to get the biggest, total of the snatch and the clean and jerk as possible. But at the same time, I'm very average and I don't do it full time and, you know, have the genetics that I have, so I'm trying to make the most out of it. But at the same time, I want to stay kind of athletic and functional in other areas, so I still, you know, want to be able to jump and run, and be able. I do lots of the powerlifting movements, the bench pressing and the strict press, and I definitely like to put a certain amount of volume in, kind of to isolation accessories, whether that's just for joint health or whether it's for kind of increasing the aesthetics. But I like to include all of it and then kind of to see where this goes. So yeah, I guess I just highlight some footage. I'll throw up some weights as the footage goes across while I kind of complete it, and every now and again I'll jump in to kind of talk about you know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So you can see here that I'm kind of playing around with the bar muscle snatch. I really like the bar muscle snatch. I think it has a lot of benefits towards improving your full snatch. I think technically it's not too challenging, but at the same time you can kind of see here that it's improving my triple extension, and it's also good to get a lot of volume in via the snatch pattern. At the moment I'm in my third week of kind of a you know general volume phase, and so I'm doing something like 4x4 muscle snatches at 65, and they get you really exhausted and quite tired very quickly. But again, I think it's got a fantastic benefit, kind of initially, and then as you start to specialize more and focus more on the snatch, you'll do it a lot less. But it's definitely more of the muscle side and less technical than the full thing. And I've kind of used it today in this session as a primer before I get into my power snatch. So I worked up to, I think it was 63 kilos for 4x4, which is kind of, a fair bit of pre-fatigue, but it means that, when I'm power snatching, my abilities, I should be primed, my ability should feel really, kind of good when I'm moving into that power snatch. And then for power snatch, I think today it looks like 88 kilos for 4 doubles. Um, I kind of, as you can see, I'm lifting in this makeshift, speed, put together kind of waterproof system for lockdown. Definitely normally training in a gym for all my sessions, my 5 sessions a week. But on this instance, I had to kind of throw these mats together. One of the downsides of this kind of environment is that there's a huge slant. So all my movements, as you can see, I'm just cranking all the dorsiflexion out of my ankles to stay over the bar. But it also means when I catch the bar, or do anything in a deep movement, so front squatting here or before, a full snatch, kind of my levers and my anatomy is different if I was catching it on a flat floor. I guess at first this really annoyed me, but after a while I decided, hey, it's kind of, a good opportunity to, build some character and get quite strong, and then hopefully when I get back to a gym with a little bit more of a consistent environment, my lifts will go up because I'm so used to kind of lifting at what feels like a huge disadvantage to me. So here we've got me front squatting. Today I work up to 4 sets of triples at 140 kilos. Again, front squatting took me a while to get used to with this with this floor being on a slant. Doesn't look like much, but it just feels, you know, so much different to when you're squatting flat, especially with the front squat, right? Because you're trying to stay really upright, your midline's trying to stay in kind of very vertical, and then my shins and my knees are trying to track over my toes, but that's challenging when you're already fighting the incline. So that was 120. And then here's one of my sets of 140 for a triple here. Using a belt today, my herniated my disc in my lower back in March this year, and so normally I try to limit how much I use a belt, but it's been a kind of a comfort thing, and you know, every now and again it plays up and it makes me feel a lot more safer. It feels like I can kind of really engage my core and brace properly during it throughout the lift rather than being lazy, which is really easy to do. So generally how my programming works is I'll do kind of 2 to 3 weightlifting exercises, or including kind of weightlifting specific strength exercises. So as you saw, a front squat, I did a muscle snatch, and then I did a power snatch, so a bit more of a snatch focus today, but because they're not so fatiguing on my kind of central nervous system and just my body in general, because the absolute weight of the snatch exercise is always lower, I then did some front squats, which is a bit more leg dominant. But then again, absolute weight is much lower than something like a back squat, where because it's sitting on your back rack, you can lift so much more. And then once I get through my weightlifting portion of the workout, I don't like to split workouts up, so I kind of go into part 2, which is all my accessories, and that normally looks like I'll do something that combines a push exercise, something that does a pull exercise. I'll do something that works is a knee dominant mover, something that's a hip dominant mover, something that works my elbow joint kind of for elbow health, which also doubles as kind of bodybuilding, and then something that does my ankle. And then every now and again I'll do something that some kind of throwing movement. And always I do a plyometric exercise, as you saw at the start of the video before I start. So this is my pressing movement. I'm doing bench press. I think it was a heavy bench press today, so I did 4x2 at 120 kilos, which felt pretty good. And here you can see this is my knee dominant movement. I know I did front squats today, and I did a lot of, you know, pulling and catching and Olympic lifts, but I also like to isolate the quads here. I like to isolate the quadriceps, load up my patella tendon through the front of my knee, and these step downs make my quads and knees feel quite healthy. I've had a lot of knee issues in the past before, and I like to do this, or when I'm at the gym, I like to do quad extensions, which is another variation. So my pull exercise today was 4 sets of 15 pull-ups, just body weight. Again, I offsetted not only push and pull, but also volume and intensity. So the intensity was very high on the bench press, 120, with my best bench press is I think 130 or 130, 135, and then offsetting with some volume for 4 sets of 15 on my pull-ups. So yeah, that's my session.